Very good morning to all of you. This is our lecture number 12, and in the previous lecture we have seen the total pressure or total force on the submerged body in case of incline or horizontal or a curved plane. And also we have seen the center of pressure, okay, of the submerged body. Uh, Today we will see, we will, in lecture number 12, the outcome of the lecture will be, we will see the buoyancy and the flotation, principle of buoyancy, we'll see the principle of buoyancy and the principle of flotation, and stability of floating and submerged body. Also we will see what is the metacenter, what is the metacenter, what is the metacenter, and metacentric height. So this is also we will see today in our this today's lecture. So what is buoyancy? buoyancy क्या है? buoyancy हम जनरली अगर उर्दू में बोले उसको हम बोलेंगे उछाल उछाल. When an object is when an object is placed in a fluid, the fluid exerts an upward force on the object. This force is known as buoyant force. This force is known as buoyant force. So if you are placed on the fluid, this is your fluid mass. This is your fluid mass. Okay, this is your object. When we place the object on the fluid, it feels a buoyancy. It will act a buoyancy pressure over the object, and this is towards the gravity of the object having some density, and then the buoyancy force is always opposite to the weight, opposite to the weight. So when object will put into the water or put into the fluid, the upward force is exerted by the fluid on the body, which tend to lift the upward, which tend to lift it upwards, which tend to lift it upward. This upward force is called as buoyant force or buoyancy. This upward force is called as buoyant force or buoyancy. So direction of buoyancy force, because the pressure increases as the depth increases. The pressure of the liquid increases. Here is pressure P1, here is the pressure P2. We know that as we go through the depth, we know that rho GH. So your pressure is nothing but it is increasing at this H, or depth of water or depth of fluid increases. The pressure on bottom an object is always larger than the force on the top. So pressure on the object at above is less than the bottom. Okay, so here the pressure P2 will be large because we are going some more depth into the water. So that pressure is upward at that tend to object upward direction, and that force is called as buoyancy force. That force is called as buoyancy force. Okay. So there are different conditions for the buoyancy force. If you go for that, so you know that the buoyancy force is greater than the object weight. The buoyancy force is greater than the object weight. The object will rise to surface and float. If the buoyancy force is greater than, if I will write the buoyancy force Fp is greater than the weight, then what will happen? The object will float over the surface. Object will float over the surface. जैसे कि हम लोग in case of हम लोग कहाँ पर देखते हैं? Wooden plank. Wooden plank, it is some part is submerged and some part is above the air. It is floating. It is floating. Why it is floating? Floating because the buoyancy force of the wooden plank is larger than its weight. That's why. Okay, because row of water is row of wood is less than less than less than row of your water. Okay, so that's why the wooden plank it is. But if you try to put the same size of stone, what it happens? The buoyancy force is less than the object's weight. So if we, in that case, if you are putting the it is less than the weight, so it sinks. It sinks. Okay, so it will go down. It will sink. If the buoyancy force equal to the object weight, the object will remain suspended at depth. So if the buoyancy force equal to the object weight, the object will remain suspended at that depth. So at a certain depth, the object will not sink and not float over the water, but it will be suspended into the water if the buoyancy force Fb, buoyancy force Fb is equal to the weight W. Okay. So whenever body is placed over a liquid, either it sinks down or float on the liquid, it's subjected to the following two forces. That is the gravitational force and upthrust of liquid, and this upthrust of liquid is we are denoted with the Fb, that is the buoyancy force. That is the buoyancy force. And gravitational force is due to the weight density. If the gravitational force is more than the thrust of liquid, the body will sink down. But if the gravitational force is less than the thrust of liquid, the body will float. These are the different definitions we are seeing. The tendency of a fluid to uplift a submerged body because of the thrust of fluid is known as force of buoyancy or simple buoyancy. It is always equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body. So this is nothing but Archimedes principle. It is always equal to the weight of the fluid displaced by the body. This is nothing but the Archimedes principle. If the force of buoyancy is greater than the weight of the body, the force of buoyancy is greater than the weight of the body, it will push up till the weight of the fluid displaced equal to the weight of the body, and the body will float. But if the force of buoyancy is less than the weight of the body, it will sink down. So these are the different definition of buoyancy, and this is also the NPTEL where that I have taken. Why the wooden object float on water? It is a question. But a small needle of iron sinks into water. It depends on the weight density or a row of the wood and row of the iron which this needle is made. So that's why if the weight is greater than your buoyancy force, so it will sink. It will sink. But if a buoyancy force is greater than the weight, so the object will float. The object will float. So a fluid exerts an upward force on a body. A fluid exerts upward force on a body which is immersed fully or partially. The upward force tends to lift the body is called as the buoyant force. That is called as the buoyant force or buoyancy. So these are the different definition I have taken from different books and NPTEL notes. So that is okay. So pressure different, because you know that the pressure at this point, it is different than the pressure at this point. Okay. So change in pressure and the vertical force, it is so horizontal force, no such effect is there, but the vertical force or pressure, there is definitely the effect, and due to that the body may float or sink. It depends on the weight density of the body also and weight density of the medium where that is placed. Okay, so the total upward buoyant force becomes the total upward buoyant force. This is nothing but your upward buoyant force. If you see the pressure P1, P2 at the surface, okay, and this is the difference between this the height of the surface Z1 minus Z2, This is the difference of height. Okay, W is the weight density of your fluid, and this is different in height, and DAH, the volume of is equal to W into volume of your body. Okay, so this difference into area is nothing but difference into height into area is nothing but volume. So W into, and W is, W is nothing but rho G. W is nothing but rho G into volume is nothing but Boyle's force. So if you write down the Boyle's force is equal to F is equal to rho into G into volume of body, or rho, to write W into volume of your body, that body. Okay, so that is nothing but the FB force is related with the volume of the submerged body we are talking. Now, what is the center of buoyancy? So we know the buoyancy is the force. Right? What is the center of the buoyancy? Okay, and the buoyancy force is upward in direction. The center of buoyancy is the point through which the force of buoyancy is supposed to act. Center of buoyancy. What is the center of buoyancy? Center of buoyancy is the point through which the force of buoyancy is supposed to act. It is always the center of gravity. It is always the center of gravity of the volume of the liquid displaced. It is always the center of gravity of the volume of the liquid displaced. It is, in other words, the center of buoyancy is the center of area of immersed section. The center of buoyancy is nothing but center of area of immersed section. Okay, center of area of immersed section. So if I will show you, if I will show you, this is the if this is the body, this is the fluid. In the fluid, the body is fluid floating. Then G is the center of gravity of this is G is the center of gravity of the whole object. But center of buoyancy, if you take, the center of buoyancy is only as per this height, and this is the B. If you denote the center of buoyancy, this will be nothing but this h by 2. Okay, so it means that the center of buoyancy is the center of area of immersed section. So this is center of area of immersed section. Here is a B. Center of area of immersed section. Here it is a B. Okay, so that's why this is nothing but your center of buoyancy. This is nothing but your center of buoyancy. And G is the center of gravity. G is the center of gravity, and B is the center of buoyancy. B-O-U-Y-A-N-C, buoyancy. So this is the center of buoyancy of submerged liquid. So you can see here the center of line of action of buoyant force on object is called as center of buoyancy. Okay, so here you can see the center of displaced volume of fluid is the center of buoyancy. Displaced volume of fluid, यानी जितना फ्लूइड आपका रिमूव हो रहा है उसका जो सरफेस का सेंटर है, that is nothing but center of buoyancy. So here also you can see the center of buoyancy and center of gravity. It is not at the same point. It is different, which is applicable for both submerged and floating objects. Which is applicable, the center of buoyancy is applicable to the fully submerged object or the floating object. Here you can see the Tairak, it is nothing but the floating object. Here also the wooden plank is floating object. If it is fully submerged, then also we can go. So here water, if you consider an air is the medium, a fluid is or the fluid, but the water is only the row of water is similar to all the surface. The different layer of the water, kerosene or uh, mercury, etc. Another type of fluid is there. Then the density of fluid is also changing. So therefore, the force of buoyancy and center of buoyancy will also change as per the density is changing. So what is the Archimedes principle? Archimedes says that a body immersed in a fluid experiences a vertical buoyant force. तो जो भी बॉडी हम फ्लूइड के अंदर डुबाते हैं, फ्लूइड के अंदर सिंक करते हैं, तो इट एक्सपीरियंस अ बॉइंट फोर्स यानी अपवर्ड फोर्स फील होता है ना, विच इज इक्वल टू द वेट ऑफ फ्लूइड, which is equal to the weight of fluid displaced by the body, and the buoyant force act upward through the centroid of displaced volume. So this is the centroid of displaced volume. So this center of buoyancy from this upward force Fb will act. Okay, the floating body displays its own weight in the fluid in which it flows. So Fb is the summation of rho I g displaced into displaced volume. So rho into g is nothing but the unit weight of your liquid, and this is the volume. Okay, it is already we have seen above. So here also you can experience that this submerged object, this one volume of the fluid is displaced. So that's why this is called as the center of that displaced fluid is called as center of buoyancy. That is called as center of buoyancy. Okay. तो इससे भी हम आर्चिमेडिस प्रिंसिपल समझ सकते हैं. एन ऑब्जेक्ट कंप्लीटली और पार्शियली सबमर्ज्ड इन अ फ्लूइड experience an upward buoyant force whose magnitude is equal to the weight of fluid displaced by object. तो अगर आप यहाँ देखेंगे कि यहाँ मेरा वाटर लेवल सेम है, लेकिन मैं जैसे ही ये ऑब्जेक्ट इंसर्ट करता हूँ, तो हाउ मच द वाटर it will displace, this water will come here. Okay, so that's why if this object will sink, experience this weight is 2 kg, it will replace the same amount of your water. So the buoyant force is due to the displaced fluid, and the block material does not matter. Yes, the block material does not matter, but the buoyant force is always displace the fluid, and it is always upward direction. So here the example is understand that you see in the figure this, the weight in air, the object is shown how much? 7 pounds. 7 pounds. Okay. The Archimedes principle, the buoyant force is equal to the weight of the displaced water. So here what happened, if you weigh in the water, because of this upward buoyant force of 3 pounds, upward it will displace the same amount of water. So 3 pounds of water will be displaced, and in the figure as we see that the difference between the weight in air and the weight in water is 3 pounds. This is the buoyant force that acts upward to cancel out the part of force. If you were to weigh the water displaced, it is also weighed the 3 pounds as shown in this figure. So this you can do this practical at your home also, and you can practically understand what is the buoyancy. Okay. Now the calculation of buoyancy force. The buoyant force Fb is due to the difference of pressure between the top and bottom surface of some particular block. So here you can see that this is the submerged block. This is the submerged block. Okay, this is the submerged block. This is the water body. This is the water body or any other liquid. This is your submerged block. The above portion is the area of the submerged block. Weight is nothing but m mass into gravitational acceleration, that is mg. We are generally measuring Newton. And H1 pressure at this level, pressure at the bottom. You see H1 H2 is the difference of height as you seen earlier. So H2 minus H1 is the difference of height, and that is nothing but the pressure. So delta P, the difference of pressure, is nothing but FB upon A. FB upon A. If you, I will write down FB is equal to FB is equal to P2 minus P1. Okay. So pressure at S2 is P2, pressure at S2 is P2, and pressure at H1 is nothing but P1. So change in pressure, I will write on change in pressure, and delta P is nothing but P2 minus P1. So FB upon A is equal to P2 minus P1. To write down that FB is equal to A into P2 minus P1. So delta F, density of your fluid, into gravitational acceleration, rho F into G into S2 minus rho F G H1. Because you know that here rho, the same fluid, the rho having the same, because only one type of fluid is there. Okay, and gravitational acceleration G is also same, rho into G. If I will take the rho into G common, so it will be rho F and G will be common. Then area into H2 minus H1. So you know that area into height, it is nothing but volume. It is the nothing but volume. So if you can write down, it will be the FB is equal to rho F into G is nothing but, if I write to W into V. So this is nothing but the Boyle's force. WF is the volume of the displaced fluid. WF is the volume of displaced fluid. That is the buoyancy force. The upward buoyant force, B is equal to rho of fluid Q into the object, volume of the object. The downward gravitational force is equal to W into mg. The net force is nothing but B minus FB minus W is equal to rho of fluid minus rho of object. Okay, into gravitational acceleration is same for both, and then volume of object. This will give you the net force due to the bonds and the weight. Okay, so likewise you can understand. Okay, so it is very simple. It is very simple. You can understand. Now we'll see what is the meta center. What is the meta center? We'll solve one example also if you will get the time. Otherwise, we will solve. I will send to all your. So, what is the meta center? And meta center is height. So, what is the meta center? When a body floating in the liquid, is given a small angular displacement, it starts oscillation about a point. This point about which body start oscillation is called as meta center. So, meta center is defined as the point about which a body oscillates when it is given a small angular displacement. तो जो पॉइंट से आपका बॉडी ऑसिलेट होता है, this is the stable condition you can see. This is the stable condition you can see. Okay, if you give the small displacement where the point about which the body will oscillate, this is the oscillation. You oscillate like this. Okay, oscillate about this point. Oscillate about this point M. So this M is called as meta center. तो पॉइंट जहां से ऐसे पॉइंट इस जो पॉइंट से आपका बॉडी ऑसिलेट होता है, इट इज कॉल्ड एज मेटा सेंटर, इज कॉल्ड एज मेटा. From the figure you can easily understand what is meta center. Okay, so this is your meta center. A meta center is interaction of light passing through the original center of buoyancy and center of gravity of the body and vertical line passing through the new center of buoyancy. तो अगर आप देखेंगे, आप एक बात ये ध्यान में रखिए, है ना, अगर मैंने बॉडी को ऑसिलेशन दिया, है ना, मैंने डिस्प्लेसमेंट दिया इन दिस डायरेक्शन, एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन, आई एम गोइंग द ऑसिलेशन, व्हाट हैपन, द सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी ऑफ द बॉडी विल नॉट चेंज, सेंटर ऑफ ग्रेविटी ऑफ द बॉडी इट विल नॉट चेंज. अगर इसी को अगर मैं रेक्टेंगुलर ऑब्जेक्ट लूं, ओके, और मैं इस स्मॉल डिस्प्लेसमेंट देता हूं, okay, this is the displacement of the body, okay, the center of gravity will not change, okay, the center of gravity will not change, and this is the initial condition. और फिर जब हम टिल्ट करते हैं, थोड़ा सा स्मॉल डिस्प्लेसमेंट देते हैं, तो व्हाट हैपन, स्पोर्ट्स डिस्प्लेसमेंट मैंने दिया, तो दिस विल दिस G will come to the G will be here and this B will be here, but the buoyancy will not change. This is the B1, if I will say, will not change. So where these 2 points meet, this point is called as M, and that is nothing but meta center. That is nothing but meta center. That is nothing but meta center. Okay? That is nothing but meta center. So meta center, whenever a body floating in a liquid is given a smaller angular displacement, it start oscillating about some point. This point above which the body start oscillating is called as meta center. So different definition as given, that you should remember that. So this is now this M is the meta center. Okay. So this is G is the gravity, T is the buoyancy, center of buoyancy, center of gravity, and the displacement given by alpha or theta or delta theta. Now metacentric height. What is the metacentric height? Let us the distance between the center of gravity of the body, the distance between the center of gravity of the body is distance between center of gravity of the body to the point from which the body oscillates, that is metacenter. That is metacenter. So this distance is called as metacentric height. This distance is called as metacentric height. A matter of fact that the metacentric height of floating body is direct measure of its stability, or in other words, more the metacentric height of floating body, more it will be stable. So this height, if it is more than this height, more stable will be the modern design offices. The metacentric height of a boat or ship is accurately calculated to check the stability of some values of metacentric height are given. If merchant ships are there, the metacentric height is up to 1 meter. Sailing ship is there, then sailing ship 1.5 meter. Battle ship is there, the metacentric height will be 2 meter. And river craft is there, the metacentric height will be 3.5 meter. Some of this example is given, the metacentric height. If the metacentric height is larger than the GB, that is center of buoyancy and center of gravity distance, BG distance, then it is said to be your object is stable. So it is related with the stability. The metacentric height is related to the stability. Consider a ship floating in a water. Let the ship be given a clockwise rotation. If the ship will given a clockwise rotation, this is the clockwise rotation given with the angle theta, with the angle theta, through a small angle theta in radians. The immersed section has not changed from the immersed section A, A, C, D, E. This is the immersed section. I will enter A, C, D, E is the immersed section. What happened? The immersed section was not changed the position, that is uh, position will be M, N, D1, E1. So position will be ACD E2, M, M, N, N, D1, E1. So this is the position will change. So the original center of buoyancy B has now changed to a new position. So this is the center of buoyancy, original center of buoyancy. Now it, after tilting, it will change to the new position and it is E1, I will say. It may be noted that the triangular wedge AOM, this you can see the AOM, it will come over the water, whereas the triangular portion CON will come under the water. Since the volume of water displaced remained the same, therefore the two triangular wedges must have equal area. Okay, therefore the volume of water displaced remain the same after the tilting also. So therefore the two triangle wedge, this one, triangle 1 and triangle 2, having the same area. यानी जितना एयर में आया उतना वाटर में गया, तो आप अगर बोलेंगे तो वॉल्यूम ऑफ दिस ऑब्जेक्ट इज नॉट चेंज, the volume of this object is not changed under the water. A latest consideration will show that as the triangular wedge AOM has come out of the water, thus decreasing the force of buoyancy on the left side. So left side the force of buoyancy क्या हो गया आपका, डिक्रीज हो गया. लेकिन क्या हो गया दूसरी तरफ therefore tend to rotate the vessel in anti-clockwise direction. तो ये क्या करेगा, वेसल को एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन में, एंटी क्लॉकवाइज डायरेक्शन में अबाउट ओ रोटेट करने की कोशिश करेगा. ओके, एंड व्हाट हैपन, दिस टेंड्स टू rotate in anti-clockwise direction, this point. Then similarly, as the triangular wedge OCN, this side has gone underwater, thus increasing the force of buoyancy. So here the force of buoyancy आपका increase होगा. Okay, so what happened, यहाँ decrease हो रहा है, यहाँ increase हो रहा है. Okay, so it again tends to rotate the vessel in anti-clockwise direction. अगर आप देखेंगे तो ये डायरेक्शन अगर आप O देखेंगे तो both are anti-clockwise direction. It is thus obvious that this force of buoyancy will form a couple. तो ये दोनों जो force है, ये दोनों force क्या करेंगे, they are forming a couple. They are forming a couple which tends to rotate the vessel in anti-clockwise direction. Or if the angle theta through which the body is given rotation is extremely small, the ship may be assumed to rotate about m, about to rotate about l, that is about the this m, that is center of oscillation or meta center. Okay, so if you observe this, you can briefly find out this. The L is the length of the ship, B is the breadth of ship, theta is the very small angle, and radius, B is the volume of water displaced by the ship. So the displacement in terms of theta अगर हम लेते हैं, so it is AM and CM both are same, B theta by 2. Volume of wedge on water, OM is the half into B by 2 into AM into length. So this is the volume. So this half into B by 2, AM B theta by 2 into L, B square theta L by 8. Okay. So AM you know, CM you know, B theta by 2. Therefore, weight of the wedge of water is W B square theta L by 8. This is the weight of wedge of water. W is the specific weight of your water. And the specific weight of water is nothing but rho into G. Okay? And the arm of the couple is 2/3 of P, and the center of this 1/3, it is 2/3 of P. That's why we have 2/3 of P. The moment of distorting couple is nothing but WP square theta L by 8 into the distance between the two couple, distance between the two forces. One is downward, one is upward. They are making upward. This distance between these two forces is nothing but 2 by 3 of your P, width of your. So that's why the moment of steady force WB cube theta L by 12. Okay. The moment of steady force W. Okay. V is the volume into BB1. What is the BB1? BB1 is distance. This is distance. The same will displace. Okay, rotate. Okay. So if I write down rho into G as per the principle of buoyancy, so if I will write down a moment of dispersing force is nothing but it is rho into G into volume into how much? B to B1. So if I write down equating the two moments, WB cube theta L by 12, the first moment you will find out due to the couple, this one, okay, and this from the buoyancy force, so that will be W volume into BB1. So substituting the value of LB3 by 12 is I. I is nothing but moment of inertia of the ship, that is implant, that is I is equal to BD cube by 12. That is the moment of inertia here. LB cube by 12. L is the length. So this is for rectangular formula. Similarly, we can add this. So that is nothing but LB cube by 12 here is nothing but I. If you will write down, so I will write down like this: W into theta into LB cube by 12. This value is I. So what will be the WI theta? Is W theta into I. WI theta is equal to WB. BB1 is nothing but BM into theta. BM into theta. Where is the BM? BM into theta. W. That BB1 is equal to BM into theta. Okay. So I shall write down BM into theta. So BM is equal to 1I upon V. The moment of inertia of the plant divided by volume of water displaced. So now metacentric height, nothing but GM is equal to PM plus minus VG. PM plus minus VG. So GM is nothing but is the metacentric height is GM, the center of gravity is nothing but GM, So Gm is nothing but Bm plus minus Bg. Okay, Bm plus minus Bg. So it is Bm plus minus Bg is the Gm. Okay. Now the condition of equilibrium floating body is depend on this metacentric height. Okay. So the distance Gm between the metacenter M and center of gravity G of floating body is called as metacentric height. The distance between this M G, this difference between the M and G, this distance is called as metacentric height. Metacentric height. Okay, that is nothing but metacentric height. Okay. Now, based on this metacentric height, you can differentiate the conditions of equilibrium of floating body. So there is three conditions. A body is said to be in equilibrium when it remains in steady state while floating in a liquid. Following are the three conditions. Stable equilibrium. Stable equilibrium. When there will be the stable equilibrium, if the GM is positive. When unstable equilibrium, it means by the GM is this metacentric side is get. When the neutral equilibrium, it means that GM value is equal to 0. Okay, it's 10 to equal to 0. So these three conditions are there. So if stable condition, it means that a body is said to be in stable equilibrium, it returns back to its original position when given a small angular displacement. यानी वो अपनी असली हालत में आ जाती है. This happens when the beta center M is higher than the center of gravity of floating body. So M is higher than. So if you can see that W is equal to FP condition, that is stable condition. M is above G. So in that case, you can see in the ship, you can see this M is the metacenter. If M is above G, it means that our floating body is under stable equilibrium. So generally we know that weight is acting about the G and buoyancy force acting about the center of buoyancy. So if the floating body is given a small angular displacement in clockwise direction, when the center of buoyancy shifts from B dash to B1, in this case, the buoyancy force Fp through B1 and W produce a couple acting on the anti-clockwise direction as we seen above. Hence the floating body returns its original position. So floating body is said to be stable at equilibrium when Mg is greater than Bg. If we will write down stable condition that Mg or Gm is greater than Bg or G. Unstable equilibrium condition when a body is said to be in unstable equilibrium. If it does not return back to its original position and heels further away when given a small angular displacement, this happens when the metacentric is lower than the center of gravity of floating body. तो ये कब होगा? जब M आपका G के नीचे आ जाएगा. So that position is not good and that is the unstable condition. And it happens the overturning of the body. From the overturning of ship or body floating in the water. If the floating body is given a small angular displacement in clockwise direction, then the buoyancy force at B through B1 and W produce a couple acting in clockwise direction, and the clockwise displacement हमने दे दिया और direction जो है couple का that is also clockwise, so that leads to the overturn of the body, and that condition is called as unstable equilibrium. Here you can see that M is M is M is M is flow over G, that is gravity, center of gravity. Okay. Now the neutral equilibrium body is said to be a neutral equilibrium which occupies a new position and remains at rest in this new position when small angular displacement is happen when the meta center coincides with the center of gravity. So if your M coincide with G, then this condition is said to be neutral equilibrium. This condition is said to be neutral equilibrium. तो मेटा सेंटर क्या है? M point where the body or floating body is oscillating, and G is the center of gravity of the body. Center of gravity of body is not changing, and B is the center of buoyancy. Center of buoyancy changing as we use the displacement. Okay, so you should remember this, and this is the neutral condition where M and G at the same position, and that is called as neutral equilibrium condition. Okay, so these are we have seen here. So here this is U1. It depends on the metal setting height. The neutral equilibrium, yani this Pm is equal to Bg. If Pm is greater than Bg, then it is stable, and if Pm is less than Bg, then the couple is also clockwise, and restoring couple is anti-clockwise. If Pm is greater than Bg, if Pm is less than Bg, then it is also clockwise. So it leads to the overturning of the floating body. So that is about the stability. Rotic instability occurs in nature. Fish generally swim with their planes of symmetric vertically. After death is position unstable, they float with their flat side. तो आप देखते हैं कि शिप जो है, फिश जो है, जब स्विम करती है तो हर पोजीशन इज लाइक दिस, लेकिन आफ्टर डेथ उसकी पोजीशन जो है चेंज हो जाती है, फ्लैट पोजीशन में स्विम करने लगती है because of this unstable condition. That is an example of stability. Similarly, giant iceberg may overturn after becoming unstable when their shape changes due to the underwater melting. Underwater melting is a shape change over with overturning dramatically, and this can be seen rarely and available. And there is another maximum length of vertical floating body. Okay. Maximum permissible length of block floating vertically in water may be found out by keeping the body in stable equilibrium. Okay, and there are some examples. You can solve these examples at your own. And today we finish our unit number 1. So very good examples are there attached with this, and these examples are given in your book also. We can also take from the book. So all this. Okay. So very good examples are there. You can solve, and you can better understand about the center of gravity, center of buoyancy, and the center. Okay. Thank you for joining today. So today we have in this lecture we have learned about the principle of flotation and buoyancy. We have seen the established meta center and the meta center and stability of floating and submerged body based on the meta center height. Okay. So thank you for joining. Stop here. If you have any question, you may ask. Otherwise.